I think the American people are sick and tired of Elon Musk, the richest guy in the world, running around slashing Social Security, veterans programs that Republicans. And I think the American people are prepared to stand with those of us who say that, you know what, we're a government of the people, by the people, for the people, not the oligarchy. You got to stand up. You got to fight back. You got to go into the streets. You got to rally the American people. I think you can win millions of people, Republicans, Democrats, independents, who really do not like the direction in which this country is now going.
In this video, we're going to show you exactly how Bernie Sanders exposed Trump's biggest lies on live TV. You'll see Bernie's calm, fact-based takedown of Trump's healthcare failures, his economic policies that favor the wealthy, and his constant election lies. The contrast couldn't be more stark. Then we'll show you Trump's unhinged response, a Twitter meltdown for the ages that proves he has no actual defense against the truth. By the end of this video, you'll understand why fact-based criticism is Trump's kryptonite, and you'll have some solid talking points for your next political debate.
We are living in a pivotal moment in our country's history, facing unprecedented challenges. President Trump has been very effective in creating what I would call a parallel universe for his supporters. How we respond to this moment will impact not only our lives, but the lives of our kids and grandchildren, and in terms of climate change, the very health and well-being of the planet.
Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Have you ever seen a politician completely lose it when someone simply tells the truth? That's exactly what happened when Bernie decided to stop playing nice and delivered a fact bomb that left Trump's fantasy world in shambles. Bernie Sanders, America's grumpiest truth teller, stepped up to the mic with absolutely no filter. While other politicians treat Trump's nonsense like it's just some quirky personality trait that we all have to tolerate, Bernie pulled exactly 0 punches. He went straight for Trump's jugular with something the president clearly can't handle: facts.
We have a message for Mr. Trump. We're not going to allow you and your friend Mr. Musk and the other billionaires to wreak havoc on the working families of this country. And that is, we will not allow you to move this country into an oligarchy. No, you're not going to destroy Social Security. You're not going to destroy Medicaid. You're not going to destroy the Veterans Administration.
The economic takedown was particularly brutal. Bernie didn't just wave his hands around making vague accusations, he brought receipts. After Republicans gave huge tax breaks to the richest people and the largest corporations, do you really want to cut Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid? Bernie asked, highlighting how Trump's policies favored his billionaire buddies, while average Americans got the economic equivalent of finding loose change in your couch cushions. But wait, it gets better. Bernie systematically exposed how Trump's economic legacy isn't the success story he pretends it is. While Trump was busy bragging about the stock market, Bernie pointed out that we have more income and wealth inequality than we have had in 100 years. Ouch. That's like telling someone their fancy new haircut actually makes them look like they stuck their finger in an electrical socket.
You know who the biggest criminals are in this country? They are the CEOs of major corporations who are robbing us every single day. I'll tell you what else you're not going to do. We're not going to let you undermine the democracy that men and women in this country have fought and died for. If we stand together, we can not only defeat Trumpism, but we can create the kind of great nation we know that we can become. Thank you all very much.
The best part? Bernie didn't need to resort to schoolyard insults or weird nicknames. He just calmly laid out reality, which is apparently Trump's kryptonite. Trump's entire carefully constructed image as some kind of working-class hero collapsed faster than a cheap lawn chair at a July 4th barbecue. As Bernie put it, Trump's entire brand unraveled on live TV thread by thread. What makes Bernie's approach so effective is that he doesn't get dragged into the name-calling mud pit, where Trump usually drowns his opponents. While Trump was busy having what looked like a presidential temper tantrum, Bernie kept hitting him with one inconvenient truth after another. It was like watching someone try to have a serious policy debate with a toddler who just discovered the word no. Truth seems to act like kryptonite on our former president, and Bernie's calm fact delivery sent Trump into a spiral that exposed his paper-thin facade. What kind of leader responds to economic statistics with insults and expects to be taken seriously as a potential commander-in-chief? The meltdown wasn't just bad, it was nuclear-level embarrassing. When faced with Bernie's inconvenient truths, Trump's first instinct wasn't to counter with his own facts or policies. Instead, he went straight to his comfort zone: childish name-calling. Crazy Bernie and total loser were apparently the best rebuttals the former president could muster against actual economic data.
Over 60% of our people, as we speak right here, 60% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. I grew up in a family living paycheck to paycheck. That ain't easy. We need a labor secretary who, in fact, is going to be a champion of working families. People trying to find out how they're going to get health care, how they're going to pay their rent, how they're going to feed their kids, which is one of the reasons why working class people die 6 years short of lives. Now, $7.25 federal minimum wage. Anybody think that anywhere in America can live on $7.25 an hour?
It's like watching someone bring a water balloon to a gunfight, except the water balloon is filled with tears. You could literally see Trump unraveling in real time, his face flushed redder than a MAGA hat on clearance, as Bernie continued his methodical dismantling of Trump's economic fantasy world. While Bernie maintained his composure, Trump's body language screamed toddler who just had his candy taken away. The contrast couldn't have been more stark, one man armed with facts, the other flailing with temper tantrums. But the real fireworks came after the cameras stopped rolling. Trump's social media accounts exploded with all-caps rants that looked like they were typed by someone angrily sitting on their keyboard. The spelling errors alone could fill a dictionary of made-up words. And let's talk about his bizarre claim that Bernie never built a skyscraper, because apparently that's now the qualification for discussing economic policy. Not understanding economics or helping working people, but building tall buildings. Makes perfect sense if you don't think about it. Trump's faithful followers scrambled to reframe this epic meltdown as some kind of deep state attack on their beloved leader. Their mental gymnastics deserved a gold medal as they twisted themselves into pretzels trying to explain why their strongman hero collapsed faster than a house of cards in a hurricane when faced with simple facts. But the truth had already broken through the fog of confusion that Trump depends on. The most revealing part of this entire episode wasn't what Trump said, it was what he couldn't say. When Bernie brought up concrete economic issues affecting everyday Americans, Trump had nothing substantive to offer in response. Just insults, deflections, and bizarre non sequiturs. The emperor's new clothes had finally been revealed as nothing but an oversized ego wrapped in insecurity. What we've seen from Bernie is basically a masterclass in how to handle Trump. No fancy talk, no name-calling, just plain truth bombs that leave Trump's fantasy world in ruins. While Trump's busy filing lawsuits and breaking promises, Bernie's out there with his decades-long record of actually fighting for regular folks. And get this, Bernie's not slowing down. He's currently leading an anti-oligarchy tour across America, pulling in massive crowds including 9,000 people in suburban Detroit alone. The old democratic socialist is showing exactly how to counter Trump's make-believe universe, not with insults or rhetoric, but with cold, hard reality that Trump simply can't handle. The contrast couldn't be clearer. One man builds skyscrapers with his name on them. The other builds movements that actually help people. Grumpy Bernie for the win.